What's up, guys? It's Jake here, and I'm up before work this morning to make this little video for y'all because I've got it on my mind and figured I'd come talk to you about it for a second. Um, Yesterday, I got some good news about my music, and we got a little love from some editorial playlist at Apple Music, and they're pushing one of my new songs, and I'm excited about that and grateful for that. And it's just been kind of a season of what I thought was drought with some of my new output as an artist, and haven't seen numbers do quite what I want them to do over the last year or 6 months. And in some ways, we've had some major victories, and in some ways, things haven't, been quite what I want them to be. But through all of that, I have just kind of kept doing my thing. I've got to eat and I've got to pay rent, and there's not really a way for me to bet on my art being, or my music production being the main source of my income. I was also doing my taxes last night, and starting to, at least, and looking at the money I made from music last year, and it was just significantly less than the year before. And I think there's a temptation for me to be discouraged when I see that, but I also have just been taking inventory of how I feel, and that's been honestly a lot better lately, and I've experienced myself maturing a lot. I've recognized areas where I'm smarter than I used to be, and I've recognized areas where I'm treating people better than I used to. Um, you know, my thought life has always been something that I've tried to be mindful of, and pay attention to and put value on. Um, and there's this concept of nothing is lost on me that I wrote about in a Substack a little while ago. N.I.L.O.M is the acronym. N.I.L.O.M. Nothing is lost on me. And I was just thinking about the work that I've done in the last couple years, the work that I've done recently, and how I'm trying to change gears and do some things differently in my life and still make music and still make art. And I look back and I look at the things that have taught me to carry on the way that I do, have not been easy things. They've been things where I've wished things were different than they were, and but because they were not different and because they were hard, I feel like I have these ways of seeing life that are actually quite beneficial to me. They've helped me develop resilience and strength in a certain direction, and I would like to think it's an upward direction. But that's besides the point, because say everything doesn't work out for me with music or art or all my dreams. By trying hard and failing and learning these lessons, I still get to keep the lessons. Whether or not I choose to continue trying to make music or art or do anything in that regard, I get to keep the things that I've learned along the way, and thus nothing is lost on me. And I think that's just as important as any accolade, or it's definitely important. It's almost, I would say, more important than any accolade I could earn, because it gives me the ability to carry on and enjoy my life with whatever happens. There's an Anne Lamott quote where she says something along the lines of, what people say about me when I'm not around is none of my business. And that might seem unrelated to all of this, but I feel like recently I've just been trying to mind my own business and do the things that I know I want to do and have goals, and try and achieve those goals. Have a few things, that I try to do every day that are going to put me one step closer to my dreams. And if I don't achieve my dreams, at least I've achieved my short-term goals, and I've achieved resilience and regularity and maintaining a habit. And those are things you can take with you into anything and are just objectively, good things. So, all that to say, keep doing your thing. Don't look left and right too much. Keep your head down. And just remember that, if you are failing, so to speak, maybe you're not failing. Maybe you're developing a wealth of strength, and resilience. And be sure to take inventory and look at the other lessons you're learning while maybe other things aren't working out. Be willing and ready to continue taking inventory and just realizing, the bigger picture, the 1,000-foot view. We've got to zoom out before we zoom back in sometimes. So, hope y'all are well. I've got a new song out if you want to check that out. There's a link below. And I hope to do another video like this soon. But thanks for tuning in today, and I hope this is helpful in some way. Y'all be good. Peace.